All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to episode 4 of the DRTcast for Sunday, a very late edition on the 3rd of August, 2014. And you are listening to us live or listening to the after recording here on youtube.com. And thank you very much for everybody that is listening to us tonight. Unfortunately, a couple of the members are actually away at the moment, but some of them are just running a little bit late. They will be, of course, here later tonight, later on, when we talk about a very heavily requested topic that you guys asked for, and let's just say about 101 votes basically topped the charts on it, so that is amazing to see such a lot of response for one topic. However, we will get to that later in the podcast, but let's go ahead and get started with our only two people part of the podcast, one of them being our usual Mr. Gary Romans.
Y'all, I got on.
How are you tonight?
I'm okay. I'm stressed, but I'm good.
Be stressed.
Yeah, you're having problems with a particular program that you're supposed to be taking with you next Saturday?
Yeah, it's lame. Everyone hates me. I'm going home.
What is it exactly?
Something not Yu-Gi-Oh related. What is going on? What is this noise? Do you guys hear that?
No. Wait, what noise? What do you mean?
What is going on? There's
Is it your background or what is
What?
it?
What? There's just like some noise playing right now. It's ruining everything.
It's probably an advertisement if you're...
There's nothing open with advertisements! What is going on?
Just from you.
Oh my god!
Okay, this is pretty bad for a recording for the return of the podcast.
Welcome to the round table, everyone.
Okay, well, Gary is pretty much dealing with a catastrophe on his hands.
Right.
One of our special guests for the evening is one of our other locals that comes to pretty much the local shop whenever he gets the chance to. Justin Sanders, who currently is wearing a lovely Blue Eyes White Dragon logo.
And thank you for welcoming me here. Glad to be here.
So what you got going on tonight?
Well, if that's anything to talk about, we shall discuss lots of things here.
Well, I mean, it's better than nothing. At least you're not doing something that you shouldn't be doing.
That's right. I mean, if it wasn't for this, man, I would be out there on the street corner right now. I mean,
we're so awesome at small talk, guys. This doesn't feel forced at all.
Oh no, it shouldn't be. But since we're gonna be talking about Yu-Gi-Oh stuff here in a minute, I felt that we need to actually talk about something that happened this past weekend. Guardians of the Galaxy. Have you guys actually seen that yet?
No, I have not had the chance.
I have not seen it, and now I feel like a scrub.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the scrub club too. Fuck.
No, you guys shouldn't be. I actually got the chance to watch it Friday, and it was a pretty packed crowd. I'd probably say like maybe about 85% of the seats were filled, which that's actually pretty decent because most movies usually fill up the theater like pretty quickly. But I thought the movie reminded me of more of like a comedic version of the Avengers, and there were a lot more new actors than there were like some veteran ones. Like there were some like Glenn Close and Del Toro, whatever his first name is, I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movie was really good, and the surprise ending I'm not even gonna say. But if you guys have not seen it yet, and you're a big fan of comics, you're gonna really be surprised by what you see. So I'll probably give it a 4 out of 5. It was really good. It's just the only problem was the action stuff. For some reason, it was less action but more comedy. But I thought overall the movie was still worth a watch. So for the $10, I would do it all over again.
I'll take your word for it then. I will try and watch that when I can.
Or go to the movies during Tuesday, because they usually do like Carmack Cinema little discounts, and you get like $2 popcorn and drink over there. So save money, go Tuesdays.
All right.
So, let's go ahead and what?
Don't laugh at me, Gary.
You okay, Gary?
Stop.
Yeah, I'm fine. This is great. I'm loving this. Hey guys, let's advertise for Carmike Cinemas. Stop by today for $10 movies, $2 popcorn.
Use the code DRTcast for a special 25% discount. Only
I'm just
available
like,
this
what
week
are we
only.
doing?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, we gotta support the podcast somehow, so you gotta be able to get that podcast money in here.
Yeah. We're just cinema jockeys.
But still, I love the movie regardless. Anyways,
Yeah.
moving on to tonight's topics, but before that, if you guys have any Q&A questions for tonight, just send them over to duelistroundtable@gmail.com. We usually answer these each and every end before the podcast is over, so just send them over and we will answer them tonight.
Right.
So, top 3 topics. You guys were heavily requesting these. And the first one I feel like we need to talk about is a card reveal that I know Justin wanted to actually bring up for tonight.
Right.
So, what was the card again? Was it a
It is
Noble Knight card?
The name of the card is Last Chapter of the Noble Knights.
And I don't think I saw that one yet, but what does the card do again?
It is a normal spell that says if you're, well, they haven't revealed the actual worded effect, but they've described it enough to understand the effect. If your opponent controls a monster and you do not, you can summon a Noble Knight from your grave and equip him with a Noble Arms from the grave, and you can only activate once a turn. There's no other detriment to the card whatsoever.
I still think that
It's pretty damn good, dude.
yeah, it's still a good card, but I don't know. It's like something about Noble Knights. They've had the hardest problem with getting like good enough support to try to be on a competitive scale, but they've had like the stuff like Quacky Mirrors would be a prime example that
Right.
they'll get support like early on and it will do good, but it just won't make them fast enough to try to be as competitive as most other decks, and then later on in the future that they'll get some other support for them.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. The debut of the new support gives the archetype the burst it needs to get in there, but then it eventually just falls back out of play when it doesn't do as good as people thought it would.
Yeah, a lot of newer archetypes. The only reason why they're kind of a dominant force in the beginning of their debut into the Yu-Gi-Oh world is just because no one's ever really dealt with the deck and they're still learning the cards themselves to play against them.
Right.
So,
Exactly. But this Noble Knight card, it's not like it's a normal spell, yes. It as far as I don't play the deck, I don't know if you can search this card, but the fact is you want to run a minimum of at least 2 in the deck because it's a mid to late game card. Obviously, Rhoda at 2 gives them easier access to their Madral combo, Herp Derp. They make rank 5 Artorgus with 3 or 4 equips, and they sit on him. If their opponent somehow finally clears that Artorgus off, they can just drop Last Chapter, bring out Madral, bring out whatever equip they got, and do it all over again. It's just a complete top deck for Noble Knights to come back from nothing.
Yeah, and I've seen Nathan's about the only guy that's local that does actually have the deck, and he has actually played it before, and it can get those plays off, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think there might have been some kind of like search card that he used that was like Noble Knight exclusive. Like I said, I could be wrong.
A search. Do Noble Knights have? I know they have like their the Boars. Doesn't Boars search out a Noble Knight or whatever? No, Draw searches a Noble Knight, but they have no spell that searches. They have to use Reinforcing the Army.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
But
really
yeah.
convenient if it would have been something more of a Rhoda for a spell card of some kind.
Right.
Which that would actually really boost up the deck's search power by like tenfold at least.
What I'm hoping is Merlin, when he's finally revealed, Merlin is just OP, like complete overpowered, typical Konami bullcrap. That's what I want to see to happen.
It'd be like another what was it, Spellbook of Judgment type of crap going on.
Yeah, either mass draw for Noble Knights or a search for anything that says Noble in its name, something like that, or an equip spell that functions as a Rota. Search for level 4 Noble Knight, something like that.
But yeah, I really just hope that it does have that type of like play factor that Spellbook of Judgment did, but not on as like a major broken scale as the same effects as it had.
Oh yeah, because I mean, I want it to be broken, but I don't want it to be so broken that Konami smacks it down after a format because it's just ridiculous, like Judgment.
But yeah, regardless, it's going to be an interesting effect, and we'll have to wait and see when Merlin is actually released. But that will be found out later this year or whenever the card comes out.
Right. Merlin, Wizard of the Noble Knights.
Which it kind of fits in with the Noble Knight set, at least, because it's like, what was it? The Knights of the Round Table folklore.
I mean, it's Merlin. Merlin, Knights, got it. Yep. Lancelot, all of them guys. Hence the name of this podcast.
Duels of the Round Table, brought to you in part by Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, brought to you completely by Yu-Gi-Oh! This wouldn't exist otherwise.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
All right. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's see. Topic number 1. This was one of the first topics that were like requested by everybody in the Duels of the Round Table group, and it's basically talking about the artwork reveal and other stuff for Legendary Collection 5. Now,
5Ds.
Yes, 5Ds, and that's basically what is actually in the front of it, is all the cast members of 5Ds itself and Legendary. Oh, go ahead.
Unfortunately, in my opinion, as good as the anime was, the artwork on the box is a disappointment. Really.
Probably expecting, like, I would honestly say, like, the 5 dragons on the front of the box with each of their duels would have actually been, like, a really nice nice artwork for it.
Yeah, that would have been an amazing step up if they just used the signer dragons, but instead they use the anime characters themselves, and that's literally it. It's just them on a black background, and that's boring.
Yeah, I would have expected a lot more.
Definitely.
For sure.
I mean, reprints in the box are amazing, but the artwork is terrible.
Speaking of which, the main card that they're using for the major draw to the purchase is, of course, Shooting Quasar.
Big Daddy himself.
Now, the biggest question is, will this affect the price to the point where it will go down to perhaps below 30, or will it try to go down some bit and then maybe go back up in value to like 45 or so?
What's Quasar sitting at right now? The jump.
I think it was like 50 or maybe less.
It's dropped already. It's at 50, and this box isn't even out yet. So when this box hits, Quasar will, plummet because nobody will care because they can just get their ultra rare from the box for however much this thing is. How much?
I think it was going to be like 30, 40.
So if you can buy a box and get a Quasar for 30, then I'd say Jump Quasar will bottom out at about 40 and then sit there and then slowly build back up as it gets further away from the box.
I think, what is it? Shonen Jump Slifer. How much is that sitting at right now?
I have no idea.
Because I thought that thing was like, might have been around 80, because I know that was like a Shonen Jump promo. And then when Premium Pack Gold came out, that thing was like $30 just for a loose copy. But I'm kind of curious if the price is going to make it to where Shooting Quasar, the Jump version, is going to go to like how it was with Slifer and actually stay at a substantial amount of money, whereas it will have a reprint, go down for a little bit, and then go back up again.
Let's see.
Well, I think the only reason why that was the case with Slifer was because of the artwork was different.
Right.
And if
Slifer
it would have changed, that's what people were talking about when they mentioned Quasar and its price and whatnot with the Legendary Collection, because they said if they changed the artwork on Quasar, then the Shonen Jump promo will probably stay the same. It'll probably stay as expensive as it was, but because they're the same, I mean, it really
it's
really
going to be the
doesn't
same
matter.
artwork. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think there was like any changes unless it's what is it, the limited edition, where it's going to probably be at the bottom of the picture rather than it being like under the artwork.
They are doing that because of Pendulum Monsters.
Yeah, because pendulums, they use the middle for the actual pendulum effect of the monster.
Yeah, they have the Pendulum effect box directly under the picture, and they had to move first edition, limited edition to the bottom bar of the card frame itself because it gives them a universal template to print, so they can print them faster instead of having to move it specifically for Pendulum Monsters. So they can just do it on every card.
Which, speaking of which, do you guys actually like that minor change, or is it kind of like a bit of an annoyance?
It doesn't bother me. I mean, if it bothers you enough to actually complain about it, you just go play something else. Really.
I'm not going to play something else because it bothers me.
Why? Why does it bother you? It's
I'm
just
a
a
rarity
simple.
for it. And do you understand that when you look at your card and you go, ah, yes, there's its highest rarity.
You still
and
will be
look-
able to see it.
You look at the right-hand side and you see your little your number of what card what it is in the set and everything. And you look to the left-hand side and you see that first edition. You're just like, oh yes, this looks complete. And then
Times are
now
changing.
it's gone.
Times are
It's gonna be like having
changing.
it unlimited every time. It's going to be completely pointless. It's going to destroy rarity ores everywhere.
Just because y'all have you just have to slightly change how your brain works and look down about an inch.
Yeah, because some people would probably think that it might be like a misprint, considering the things
Oh,
at the
God.
bottom.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not okay with this.
It's
not
fine.
something
It's
that rolls
fine,
with
Gary.
me in a
It
good
won't.
way.
It won't hurt the card. It won't hurt it. In
But
fact,
it just makes it look like it's missing something, unless it's a pendulum monster. If it's a pendulum monster, it's fine, because it has that space filled with,
I admit
text that matters.
it does look strange that it's not under the picture if it's not a pendulum monster, but you'll eventually get used to it. I swear.
Yeah, I promise I
Time
won't.
heals all wounds, Gary.
And it's not, no, no. I refuse to live this way. I'm playing old cards. I'm not going to be playing any reprint anything.
Playing old cards.
Have a great day.
Or you could
Podcast
just try
over.
to, or you could just try to make like fake cards and just put your own first ed little thing run under it.
Make some
It's not
orcas.
plausible. Not
Makes it
dealing
work.
with it.
Is
Ugh. Okay.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt anything. Not at all. No. Gary doesn't like it, and I'm fine with it. There you go. End of story.
Next topic.
First, Yu-Gi-Oh! World problems. People complain about pendulums, then they complain about first edition.
Oh, don't
logo being
even
at the
don't
bottom.
even get me started on people bitching about a new card mechanic. That gets all over me. It's so stupid.
Yeah, we pretty much did like almost a 2-hour rant on something like that. But
God,
in
dude.
any case, yeah, we'll see what happens with shooting Quasar's price.
That's
but
right.
for right now, moving on to the second most requested, and then we'll move on to the number one requested, which will probably result into a rant.
Yeah,
now-
buddy.
Now this one, I actually put this one in rather than I can't remember. There was like another one that I put in for the topics, but originality and deck names. Now, before we do get into it, people were kind of questioning like why my deck for Hot Wings was named that. For
That's
those that
easy to
also
figure
don't know
out.
what I'm talking about,
Yeah, I
it
know
was
what you're talking about.
it's like a burn
I see.
FTK OTK kind of build where it was Blaze Phoenix and Ignition Beast, and I've been trying to work on the deck profile for a while, but I've been
I've
so
seen
busy.
your video. I've seen the dual video where you wiped out Cyberknight.
I know there was there's like a couple of people that are probably listening to this right now that basically have no clue, but check Cybernight's video and you should be able to see a deck profile thing for like Hot Wings OTK, but it basically was like pyro monsters, and then there's like some that have like wings, so I figured it's like I'm chicken wings, and it's like they have some
And they're
stuff with them.
fire.
Yes.
Yeah,
And-
it's a duh.
And also, I need to like I need to applaud one of the commentator or people that commented in his video that said that with a deck name that's called Hot Wings, the deck is going to be spicy.
Oh God.
That was a terrible thing to say.
Boo! Boo! Oh my God.
Did you make a
But-
second account and then comment on your own thing?
That's some good.
That was what was.
In any case, back to the topic. Originality in deck names. Personally, I think, as silly as it is, I think originality for deck names is something that we need to see a lot more of.
Yeah, I think so.
Because personally, for me, I am really getting tired of the generic Madolche,
Say the archetype.
mythic dragons and stuff.
Is that stemming from some deep down hatred, Madolches and mythic dragons?
No, I wouldn't really say that. It's just I really hate the sound of the deck where it's like two different type of like card types that get smashed together, and it just seems so confusing that where to start.
But you have to kind of look at it in a practical sense. If you walk into your locals and they're like, "So what are you playing?" and you're just like, "I'm playing Massive Explosion Boom," and then people are like looking at you like, "What is that?" Like, what the fuck is that? It's really more practical to just name the two archetypes that you have thrown together.
Well,
now, like a deck like Hat, like at first I didn't know what the world was going with it. People were like, "Oh, I'm running Hat." It's like, okay, like what are you running really? Like, I don't understand what that means. But ultimately, you break things down and you just come with these fusion names. It just makes more sense. It's easier to describe what you're playing.
Right, but wouldn't, like, a prime example, when Twilight in 09, when that deck was out, that, to me, when people heard that name, I think it brought, like, this mysterious, like, type of atmosphere about that deck, because nobody knew what that was until they started to see all the stuff that was in there, like lights and darks. Something like that.
Yeah, when I heard Twilight, I didn't think light sworns with dark stuff. I just thought of the movie Twilight. It did not relate to Yu-Gi-Oh to me when I heard the name at all.
No, but I understand like where you're coming from with Twilight. Like when you come up with names like that and they become socially agreeable with everyone, everyone's just like, oh yeah, okay, like Hat did. Yeah. I mean, it's just really, I guess it's just a matter of the people and the right person going up with a name. So, like, if Asian Eyes was to come up with a new deck smashed together, or M-Col 40 or Cyber Knight, or someone was to start calling a deck, something like that, eventually it would catch on. I'm sure. It would just be a matter of how many people agreed with that.
And how well the deck does.
Right, and that too. That's probably the most important thing.
But I mean, that's it. I guess it's mostly just like prototype names would actually need to be like shown out for certain deck profiles, because I could literally see, just posting that up for like, just a deck profile and then seeing like if it does catch on. So yeah, that I do agree with that, but I don't necessarily think that just like the popular Yu-Gi-Oh YouTubers. I hate saying the name Yu-Gi-Tuber, which we might do for another video.
Why? What?
It just sounds goofy.
It makes sense.
It doesn't make sense. Like, you play Yu-Gi-Oh! And you're...
It's just a quicker way to say it.
I mean, it's just corny, really. It makes sense. It's just really corny.
Like I said, we'll talk about it for a different video.
Yeah, we will, too.
But, it's just, I really don't think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players that do stuff for YouTube, I don't think that it just needs to be the popular ones. Like, anybody that makes a video like that, if it does catch on, then I think that that's legitimately fine.
Right.
But,
but I'm not saying that that those are the only people that would be able to do that. I'm just saying that it's more likely to become a trend if people who are really prominent in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community were to say it. That was all I was trying to say.
Right, exactly.
Well, when people think up an original name for a deck, the problem with it is if people think they think it's a stupid name that is never going to catch on. It has to be a cool sounding name. It has to fit with the description of the deck, and then the deck has to do well, and then that name will catch on, and it will be basically synonymous with that deck ever existing ever again, that will be what it's called.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Next topic.
Nerds.
Okay, let's see. It is about probably almost 30 minutes into the podcast, so we're actually making really good progress on this. But I think we're about to really go into overtime with this one, and let's just say, ladies and gentlemen, that the topic got a staggering 101 votes.
Hear
So,
that? All the Dalmatians voted. Every fucking
yes. Oh, yeah, that's terrible. No, you'll kill yourself. Anyways, that's just as bad as the, like, spicy hot wings joke.
Hey now, I think one was better.
I know, but, the topic is basically about Dueling Network. And before you guys turn this off, this is a topic that has been heavily requested since the podcast started. And the main question is why the dire hate for the entire site. And I personally think that it's mostly just the uneducated players, which that's true.
That's very polite of you to put it. Uneducated. I like that.
But I think, personally, for me, it's not just only that part in general. To me, mainly, it's like the fact that the admins don't really care to help out whenever there's like certain problems that occur.
Oh god, dude.
And it's just I don't know if there's like any perks that come with being an admin on that site, but in just general talk reasons, I don't know. It's just there's really no like organization on the site, and it just seems like it's just a very bundled mess. And also, the site is not as appealing as when it first came out, because when there was no Dev Pro or yugioh Pro, this was the only thing that we could actually basically use as a way to test out decks.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I saw it as a godsend when it first came out.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to say. Like, I saw that for the first time, and I was like, oh, wow. Finally, I don't have to pay a ridiculous amount of money to play the game. I get to play for, basically 3 minus my deck cost, every weekend.
Exactly.
Right. And what was the other? I can't think of the name of the other site to where people could be able to play Yu-Gi-Oh, but you had like avatars that you could control, and you saw people play cards.
It was like some Duelist Academy something. I don't even remember what it was, but you had to pay money to play it, and it was
YVD.
No. It was another thing. It was like an online thing, and you had like an avatar that actually walked around, and you could actually go towards other people. But it was like a free service.
No, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, me either.
It was a long time ago before Dueling Network came out, and I remember that was like the main go-to thing, other than the pay service that was distributed by Konami.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I'm glad that this is the top topic. I think I voted for this one. I don't even remember anymore. It sounds like something I voted for. But, it's just like, it's not even really much to talk about, in my opinion, because it's like, Dueling Network, it's not that I'm lazy. I am. But manually putting cards down, and there's so much room for error, and you can't see this person in person, obviously. I just said that. Anyway, so it's just, there's a lot of situations. You've seen countless screenshots of people being ridiculously ignorant and having to call admin and like technicalities and stuff, getting the person who did the right thing, banned or game loss or something.
Oh my god, dude! Dean came out and it was amazing. Free service on the internet that did not require a download. Infinite cards or infinite card pool to test with.
Yeah.
It eventually, when people started finding out more about it, you have the first people that flock to it, of course, are the ones that still played the game. The ones that were still current, up to date when Synchros and Xyzs were coming out, people who are still playing the game and were familiar with all these mechanics.
Yeah, especially the popular Yu-Gi-Oh players that are on YouTube.
Right. Well, as it went on, the information that didn't existed leaked down into like further out, and the people that had not played since Blue Eyes was the best card in the game found it, and then they come in and they have no idea how any new cards work at all. They like refuse to read, I guess, or even remotely freshen up on new mechanics and stuff. They just think Blue Eyes is top game and that's what you're supposed to play. And then when you do something that they don't understand, they call an admin, and this is where all the hate comes from.
Yeah, and the uneducated players is probably the biggest problem of why a lot of people don't usually get on there. But I don't know, if it was better set up and the appearance of the site was a lot more presentable for anybody to, navigate rather than just the usual hate towards it, then I think that the site itself would probably be better suited. But now we have things, again, like yugioh Pro and Dev Pro that people, are able to play. And plus, it's automated, so that way you don't have to resort to being able to, have to manually do things again.
Yeah, and I hate to, circle around the same thing, saying it over and over again and all that.
Please do.
We did just kind of say that it's all automated and whatnot. But seriously, I just don't, I don't get it. It's, first of all, it's browser based. So I know that the offline features on Dev Pro and Yu-Gi-Oh Pro are not godsend, but I mean, at least you can do something Yu-Gi-Oh related. You can build your decks. You can look at them. You don't have to always be connected to the internet to get your Yu-Gi-Oh fill. If you want to say it like that, but I just don't understand. I mean, I guess I'm just ignorant to the Dueling Network argument. I mean, I don't know anyone who's pro Dueling Network at all.
Well, that's because we've since left it. The site should have disappeared once Yu-Gi-Oh and Yu-Gi-Oh Pro and Dev Pro had reached their peak in popularity. DN just doesn't seem to go away. It's like a virus.
Well, I want to say that the biggest main reason why that still stays online now is because they have advertisers. There's a couple of card shops that actually
TCG
advertise with their Mint. Yes, exactly. So they have that under there, and they pay some small lump sum to be able to stay on the little website thing.
Right.
So that's one of the main reasons why they are still alive.
I've heard claims from I'm going to say popular duelists that DN is actually better to test on than Dev Pro, and I've failed to see why that's true at all.
Me too. Especially when you're trying to learn not just game mechanics, but just the cards in general and how they work. So let's say Yang Sings are going to be coming out soon and all that mess. Yep, Yang Sing. So people who don't know how to use those, if you go on Dueling Network and it's dummy proof. You cannot mess up an effect unless you just play it wrong. It lets you know what you can choose, and it gives you everything in front of you. So as far as testing goes, I mean, no, it's not. Playing by yourself in your room is almost a better alternative. I mean, I hate to bash Dueling Network because I love Dueling Network. It was really cool when I used it.
Yes.
But now it's just, I mean, gosh, I feel so bad. I feel like I'm just killing it because it's just not good.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cesspool now. You can't use a test platform where you are 80% of the time going to be paired up against somebody who does not know what they're doing at all, or they think they do, and then force their rulings down your throat because they call in an admin that apparently believes what they say even though they're wrong, and then you get screwed over. How are you supposed to test in an environment like that?
And I think it's another thing that they have on there is where you pay perks with actual money to be able to get a certain status on the site.
Or a
And I
card.
think that has like more like an ego boost for a lot of people that just want to, be like the highest tough tier guy on the entire site. Whereas like, you're just a normal person like everybody else is when you play YGO Pro or Dev Pro. So I think that's one of the
you're
positive perks of playing those games.
Yeah, you're just some guy in front of a computer screen. Please get over yourself.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about that, forever and just continue hit the same conclusion every single time and just,
How about,
I mean,
how
if
about this?
anybody wants to come up with some like pro-con list that puts Dueling Network above Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro or Dev Pro, please do, and
Yeah.
I will gladly post and tell
Let's see
everyone
it.
I'm stupid, but for something,
Let's see it. I would like to see that list myself, actually.
I really would. So I challenge anyone in the YouTube comments or anywhere on the DRT anything to try to come up with a list that's legitimate that would make me look like a complete moron.
That
More
makes
than I already do.
DN look superior to Dev Pro or Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro.
Yes, please.
Does anybody have any good DN stories?
I think we have at
don't
least
think
two
I
people.
do yet,
We have like
unfortunately.
2 people post screenshots every day, I think, in the group of someone being really dumb.
Oh God, dude.
I,
I've had a guy try to rule shark me on Dandelion. It's so bad. So
Yeah,
bad.
there's usually quite a bit of people that are on the Facebook group that do actually post up bizarre screenshots of these players, like saying certain things that don't make any sense whatsoever.
You can taste the salt coming from the screen. It's so strong.
it's so bad. Like you could take any example. Like people. I mean, gosh. You can take a blue eyes. You could have a relinquish or any. You could just be like bloop, normal summon. Like anything. Turn one. That's you draw 8 cards because you just feel like it.
Yeah,
And then
you just let the pop-up menu
drop
and then
freaking
draw.
whatever you want. Just drop all 3 god cards and then attack directly for game and say GG. And they're just like, what?
And then see call admin appear in the.
Right, and then the
In
admin
comment
go,
box.
oh well.
And then you
Oh,
leave
no.
during the 15 minutes for them. It gets for them to get there.
He's got Exodia in his hand. I mean, I don't care how he got it there, but he got Exodia, so that's one condition. Sorry. Just like, you just get permabanned. What? It's not going to happen on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro.
Nope. None of that matters. Man.
Or Dev Pro.
Unless someone mysteriously like hacks the game and we are still in like the dark of like what the hell just happened.
Oh man, somebody that would go out of their way to hack DN.
Oh, that will be game over for like the young players that are trying to get into Yu-Gi-Oh.
The whole side.
But I mean, I can't really think of anything that would make it better. Like,
There
it's just,
isn't. Mm-mm.
now that you can have Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro on your phone, that's pretty much a nuclear bomb to the Nagasaki that is Dueling Network. Sorry, any of our Japanese or Asian viewers who are here. That was too soon.
Oh my god, Gary! Wow.
Christ.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, that's a
my God.
historical event. It happened. We're not gonna pretend like it didn't happen. I'm not gonna get historical
Right.
on everyone. in here.
Okay. Yeah. All right. DN sucks. Pro doesn't. Gotcha.
And
Okay.
also for those that are listening that do use DN, we're not saying that you're stupid for using
No.
it. We're just saying there
absolutely
are
not.
some people that are very illiterate and
Yeah.
will just be dumb
Well,
on that site.
The other problem is that it obviously if your internet isn't up to par to download Dev Pro or Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro and run it, DN is obviously the better alternative because it's browser based. So it's
Right.
easier on your connection. That's obvious why a lot of people still use it because it basically is
so there's
free
one.
bandwidth.
There's one
There's just one.
better for people who have bad, hard, difficult internet connections. Fine, got it. There's
Yeah.
one.
That's
Okay, so you
one.
can't use that
But
on
that's
your list.
literally just because they just don't have the internet, and that's understandable. Because I've been there, and it sucks. It sucks a lot. It sucks so much.
Yeah,
but
because
if you
in
like
the
Dueling Network, fine. If you like it, fine. That's cool. We're not
Yeah.
saying don't use it. We're just bashing it because we're doing this because we're cool and we're doing it.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
I mean, if you use DN and you're a person who can actually play the game, you don't screw around with it just because you can just click every button and do whatever whenever, that's fine. You're good. Have at it. If you're one of those people that purposely screws around on DN, like just turn 1, search your deck for all 5 pieces of Exodia, and then say GG, and then wait for your opponent to do something, you can go screw yourself. There you go.
Yeah, that's about right.
But
Next
yeah.
up, Dopaku.
I don't like DN, I'm sorry. I'm very biased.
Oh, it's fine. There's a lot of people that are pretty, like, all anti-DN when it comes to the Facebook group, and
Right.
people will constantly bash it for everything it is. But that's what these type of podcasts are for.
That's right. But I swear the number one argument people use for DN being better than Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro or Dev Pro is that it's a better test bed for testing decks. And I swear that's used everywhere when somebody complains about DN. They use that as a counter argument, and I just don't see how that counters anything.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm still baffled. Like, how so? Please leave a comment. Please.
Like, I mean, wouldn't it be better if you were playing against a person or a system that actually gave you a fight to actually play against? I mean, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, good on you if you win against somebody who's purposely cheating you on on DN. I mean, yeah, you're good. Good job.
But yeah, we'll pretty much see what happens like later on the week. But it'll still be a continuing topic. But
right.
Yeah, like maybe at a different time we'll maybe go further into this discussion whenever it is like brought up again.
Right.
But any case, that's pretty much it for all the topics, unless you guys want to talk about something that wasn't discussed already.
I do have something to talk about here.
All right, go ahead.
Konami's rarity bumps. Fuck
What?
Konami.
Oh, you're talking about the platinum rarity?
Oh god, the platinum rarity is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. No, I'm talking about the rarity bumps from Japan to America.
Oh yeah.
Japan. Oh, they've revealed like some of the rarities in Japan. Odd Eyes is Ultra. In America, it's going to be Secret or Ultimate or Ghost because it's the cover card. In Japan, Chiwin, the tuner Yang Zing monster, level 1 tuner, is a Super in Japan. In America, it's going to be an Ultra Rare. The Synchro for Yang Zing's Baxia is a Ultra in Japan. Over here, it's going to be a Secret or an Ultimate. They
Really
are
aggravating.
rarity bumping everything. The new Burning Abyss Exceed Dante is going to be a secret rare. They are rarity bumping everything. This is, I mean, obviously this is going to be a game-changing set when it hits. I mean, that's no doubt. But they are taking full advantage of this and bumping everything to the top rarity it can go to without taking up slots from something else.
Yeah, I think. Wait a minute, isn't Dante supposed to be a TCG exclusive, or is that Japan also?
Oh yeah, never mind. That is TCG exclusive, but it doesn't matter. He's a secret rare. They
Okay.
pushed him to a secret.
Well, I mean, that's what they usually do with a lot of TCG exclusives, especially like Tour Guide, because that was like a secret when that came out.
But the stuff that's in Japan, they do it every time, but this time it seems like they are pushing everything as far as they can get it up the rarity scale without the entire set being Ghost and Ultimate rares. God, I would love that. But that's about as far as they can get with it. It's going to be ridiculous, and people are already setting up pre-orders on eBay for some of this stuff, the English like rarities, and like it's ridiculous. They've got this Yang Zing Synchro sitting at $80. They've got the Light Tuner sitting at $40. That's just 2 cards of the Yang Zing deck, not counting the fire one, Suani. Which is a rare in Japan, is probably going to be a super here, so it's going to be a like $20 card at this rate.
And these are just the pre-orders, right?
these are the pre-order prices that people are trying to push out, and obviously that's one of the top archetypes in the set.
Wow.
So
That is
Tellarknight,
insane.
Shaddolls, and Yang Zings.
Yeah, I know Shaddolls are pretty much going to try to keep the same rarities they were in Japan, except for maybe like 1 or 2 cards. So
Let's see. Yeah. Stellar Knight Del Terros, the Xyz monster, is going to be a secret or ultimate rare. So.
I haven't really read too much into Stellar Knights. Like, is there like a minor difference compared to Constellars, or is it like its own little set?
Yeah, it's its own little archetype. They're called well, they're renaming them. The Xyz are Stellar, and then the archetype itself is Satellar. So everything has to say Tellar Knight instead. They have to leave off the prefix of the word.
You know, and I really, 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 really would have wished they would have just called them Constellars. Why? They could have called Shadows, Evil.
They're not supposed to expand on your favorite archetype.
And die. Like, why couldn't they have done that? Why couldn't I have my fun with my Constellars?
They could, because Satellar Knights are broken. All 3 archetypes are broken. With them each getting an effect on being summoned. Doesn't matter how you summon them, they each get an effect. True, you can only use it once per turn, but they can chain into each other because one can grab another one, and they can just do that and drop each level, just level 4 after level 4, and just exceed spam.
Also,
anybody who decides to try to put Constellars into the Tellarknights, don't do that unless you're just going to put Omega in your extra. Just don't try it. Don't. Okay, don't do it.
What if, for a prime example, what if Jeremy, one of our locals, actually tries to do that?
Well, then I'm going to buy him some carrots, and he's the only person who
Now I really hope he does try to pull that off, because that'll be funny, though.
Well, now we know if Gary ever gets us carrots, we know why.
Because you've made me angry in some way. They'll be baby carrots.
Oh, God. The baby carrots.
I don't even like carrots. Lets you know how far I'm going.
And also, if they were to call Shadows like, just Evil Swarm support, then could you imagine how broken that would be to summon out Ouroboros or Orthros or whatever the card is, and just basically detach search for the polymerization fusion spell?
The only problem with that right there
Don't even say that.
is because of Opion telling you can't special summon.
That's what it was. Thank you.
I don't know. I didn't read it because I'm not good at dueling or Yu-Gi-Oh. But I'm not even going to go further on this because I don't want to sound like a complete moron. Anyway, let's talk about the world.
What?
What just
Change the subject, damn it!
changes the subject?
I just walked into a minefield.
Okay.
All
right.
Okay.
Here, do y'all believe that Shaddolls will actually trounce the format, or will people actually be able to counter it?
There's already people exposing ways to actually stop them with side deck cards like non-fusion, and I think that they're still going to do damage, but there's going to be ways for people to actually counteract the deck itself. So it just depends, like, what the matchup is going to be.
My two favorite counters to Shaddolls is Chalice, Forbidden Chalice, and Defusion.
Oh yeah, I actually forgot about Forbidden Chalice.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people
Defusion,
do.
though, is ridiculous because it just goes boop, back to the extra deck. They don't get to search. No detriment to you. It's just gone.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just been stocking bread, milk, and eggs at my house for the
What?
Shaddolls. Shaddolls are gonna just be. We're gonna go to martial law. Everyone's gonna be trapped out of their houses. Nobody's gonna want to leave their houses because Shaddolls are gonna be running around outside. So.
Just looting the streets.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, the whole deck is. I mean, it's really good. I mean, yes, okay. Oh well, if I flip this face up, yeah, okay. Well, you're not gonna need that non-fusion area. Okay. So,
What is this? The Walking Dead for Yu-Gi-Oh?
You just
I don't know.
basically you need to stock up on just get your defishers, your Ennoblement Crossouts, your defusions, your non-fusion areas, and your chalices, There you go.
Yeah,
Take
I
your
don't-
pick of those, whatever you like, combination.
Or, in this case, what about Quilps?
Oh, Quillfaults?
Yes, or whatever the deck is called.
Shadows get to rule the format until those come out.
Yeah, I mean, don't they have a boss monster that's like level 10 and it says anything under level 10?
Oh, yes.
He is level 10, 3,000 attack, makes all special summon monsters 500 points weaker. He can't be destroyed by card effects. He can't be targeted by monsters whose rank or level is lower than his level. He's level 10. That means everything.
Goodbye,
He's
Judgment
ridiculous.
Dragon.
He's like the boss of boss monsters. He's insane.
That's really good.
Literally the only meta out to him, the only deck in the meta that is an out to Apocryphal Killer, if I'm even saying that right, I don't care, is Bujin Yamato with Crane. You just summon Yamato, attack, damage step, Crane, he dies. Because Yamato gets around all that stuff and he can die by battle if something's big enough to hit him. And that's literally the only meta deck answer to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or just anything Yamato and above, actually. Because Susanoo, wasn't he...
A Beast Warrior, Bujin, and Crane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you can Crane any Beast Warrior or Honest something bigger than Apocryphal Killer, you can kill him. That is, unless they don't have, their 4 back row waiting on you to protect him. Because we don't have Heavy Storm.
Isn't he allowed to? Can't you only special summon him through tribute or something?
You have to tribute to summon him with 3.
Right.
Yeah, but you just set up your
spell.
spell.
Most of the, I think there's a few of them that get an effect when they're tributed. I think all of them do. So
Yeah, a few of them count as 2 one of them counts as 2 tributes, and one of them is a Rhoda by paying 800 life points.
It's ridiculous.
And it's Pendulum Zone. It's a Rhoda.
Mm-hmm. And they have their own special effects that are pretty good if you use them in the Pendulum Zone too.
Yeah. Basically, what people are doing right now with Quillfalls is, Quillfall Tool. That's it. Believe it or not, it's a pendulum monster, but it counts as a normal monster. Believe it or not.
Right.
It has a pendulum effect, but it's a normal monster, which means you can use Summoner's Art to search it from the deck because it searches for a level 5 or higher normal monster. So you run 3 of that, you can search Quillfall Tool. You play it in the Pendulum Zone, pay 800, search another Quillfall. There's another pendulum monster called Trampolinks. They do a thing with it so they can return the tool back to their hand, replay it again, pay 800, do it again because it doesn't say once per turn on its effect.
Yeah, it's really good, and that's why a lot of people are actually...
Shadows better do all they can because holy crap.
Unless Shadows do actually get some kind of TCG exclusive, that's really going to break the game.
They've revealed the TCG exclusives. There's no Shadow exclusive, even though I thought there was going to be one. They've showed all 10 exclusives.
Even for Next Challenger?
Next Challenger, no. I'm talking about Duelist Alliance.
Yeah. I mean, if they do decide to do some Shadow support, that's TCG exclusive for Next Challenger. We'll have to wait and see when that next set is revealed.
Right.
But, any case, let's...
Another thing with Apocryphal Killer. When I said he can't be targeted, you think... he can't be destroyed by card effects and he can't be targeted. And you think... You read that and you think, oh, Madoche Tiramisu. No, he can't be targeted by anything that's lower than his level, rank or level, which means any rank 4 is out. Run 1 is dead. Nothing can kill this guy. He's not special summoned anyway, he's a tribute summon, so even if 101 could hit him, it couldn't touch him, because he's normal summoned.
Crazy.
It's
really ridiculous.
Dumb. It's basically a much better alternative than Judgment Dragon. It's actually their Judgment Dragon.
Yeah, he is absolute. Oh, and once per turn, he can make your opponent send 1 monster on their side of the field or in their hand to the grave.
What?
Oh, and it's followed by in parentheses for no effect, which means I don't think they get their effect if they're discarded.
So you mean if it's a Dark World?
Yeah, something like that. That's what it says here. I don't know if that's exactly what it means.
That's really,
but yeah.
really crazy.
Yeah. Oh, unaffected by spell and traps. That's what he says.
Oh!
And the activated effects of monsters that have lower original levels or ranks than this card's level.
That's
He's big. he's bad. So
it's really, really going to do stuff to
Yeah.
the format, which that's going to be really hard to get over.
oh yeah, people are going to be using the Summoner Art Trampolinks Quillfoff things to rapidly get up their pendulum scale, and then put them all out. Tribute for Killer, and you're good to go.
Also, prediction, is it possible that we might see it limited?
Possibility, maybe. It depends on how well it is, because literally the only meta outs to him is Solemn Warning right now, and a Honest Crane play on some light monster or a Bujin. That's literally the only thing that can kill him. You have one Solemn Warning to stop him with, and that's it.
Also, is it possible that skill drain could actually stop it?
Actually, I think Quillfoss would main skill drain, because when they are pendulum summon, their attacks are cut in half by their effects, kind of like Barbaros is. If they
Right.
flip skill drain up, they can mass summon a bunch of 2800 beaters.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens when that thing comes out. I mean, yeah, the deck is going to be a big threat to the format.
Yeah, he's big, he's bad, and he's basically the counter to Shadows. That's what they are. They're the
But didn't you
counter.
say he was unaffected by spell and trap cards?
Yeah.
So would skill drain even fuck with him?
Oh, you got a point.
We'll have to see the ruling about that when the cards release, because so far it's not really confirmed, I don't think.
Yeah, it's not confirmed at right now, but according to how it's worded now, he's unaffected by spell or traps. It means skill drain wouldn't touch him either.
Wow.
He's the only thing that stops him from being at that broken is he can't be special summoned, and you have to tribute it 3 Quillfoss to summon him. Quillfoff. That's one name change I hope they do.
Yes.
Probably call it Mega Turkey or something like that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, I agree. They'll call it something completely ridiculous.
Armageddon Space Station of Death.
No, they
There you
wouldn't
go.
even call it that. They would call it like Cotton Gin. Yo, man, what deck you playing? Cotton Gin.
I have seen the name Quillfort going around.
I actually like that.
It's just as hard to say as the original.
Quillfort is actually pretty, well, I would say like a lot easier to actually say, to be honest.
Apocryphal Fort Killer. Apocryphal Fort. Yeah.
Codename Cotton Gin, that would sound good.
Bring out the cotton gin.
The Quill Cotton Gin. Anyways,
Eli Whitney would be proud.
any case, that's pretty much it for the topics tonight. And by the looks of things, the inbox is actually empty tonight for the Q&A. So
Sad
it looks
face.
like whenever people are actually on tonight, or not on tonight, that they'll be on for next week, that we will actually have some Q&A. So very sorry for those that were expecting us to answer your questions, but it's empty, and I think the reason for that is...
I have a Q&A question then.
Okay.
How well do you think a Pendulum Gadgets will do once they get all the stuff they need? That means Odd Eyes.
Very well.
Pendulum Gadgets. I think the speed will be there somewhat, but I think there's just a lot more decks that will, like, pretty much try to trample it, even with Odd Eyes.
I think it's going to be one of those decks that are like, you know what you're about to have to deal with. You know how to stop it, but it's just a matter of getting to the cards to stop it. It's just going to be one of those nuisances. So that's really all I think.
Obviously, once they get Odd Eyes, they have everything, because the Pendulum starter deck thing's already out, so they already have both Magicians, and that's literally it. They just need those, the Machine of Monsters, and Odd Eyes, and you have the deck. There it is.
But yeah, it mostly depends, like, what all that they're going to be. Oh, and speaking of which, didn't they reveal, like, a new Machina monster?
Yeah, Megaform. Machina Megaform.
Because I didn't read the effect of it, I just only heard about it, and I was like, wow, that's kind of a really big surprise.
Yeah, it was. It looks like it looks like a Megazord. That's what it looks like. Let's see. Yeah, it's basically Fortress, Gear Frame, and Peacekeeper like merged together, and like Fortress has just grown legs somehow. It says you contribute this. You contribute this card, especially when one Machina monster from your hand or deck, except Megaform. If a Machina Fortress you control is sent to the graveyard while this card is in your grave, except during damage step, you can banish that Machina Fortress from your grave. Especially on this card, you can only use this effect. You can only use one effect per turn once that turn of this card. So yeah, he's 2600 attack, 1500 defense, level 8 machine. So it means he's a single drop to summon Fortress from the grave if you need him.
Yeah, I mean, I could actually see like maybe running one copy of it in the deck. So I don't know. It may work. It may not work.
I mean, yeah, he's a reborn for Fortress.
Yeah, I guess it just really depends on what kind of crazy build you want to run.
Like if you have Fortress in your hand along with Megaform, you ditch Megaform to summon Fortress, then it ends up in your grave because it was a level 8. You could ditch it for it. Fortress dies, you banish it to bring out Megaform, piggybacking off of his effect to destroy something. So
Yeah, I was going to say, it's just more of a punishment for anybody who tries to target or destroy it by battle.
And Fortress already is a punishment to kill it anyway. So
Right. That would just add more to
to
it.
follow it up with something this big, it'd be interesting. I don't see it doing like anything particularly big, but it'd be fun to play.
But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But it's usually just depends like what type of build is actually run for the gadget build at least. But we'll have to wait and see.
Definitely.
So, all right. Guess that's pretty much it for the podcast. Unless you guys want to talk about any last minute stuff.
Got anything last minute?
I'm sorry to anyone I offended through my comments. I said some pretty controversial things that no one cares about, but will care about if I don't say this.
That's why we like having you on here, Gary.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
We like it when you're sorry for the things you say.
I'm so glad.
And you were also good on being for tonight, Justin.
Thank you. No problem. I'm glad I was here.
And it was Gary's little idea to actually have you on here, so I think it was good to get you in on the discussions.
Thank you, Gary,
I
for your recommendation, man. Thank you.
No problem.
I'd like to thank Mom,
Just let me know.
Jesus, and Gary. Thank you.
Gary's just that top tier, like way above tier for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Got that. No problem, bro.
Yeah.
Got that kind of connections.
So, in any case, that is it for the podcast, guys. Very sorry again that we could not do a Q&A, but we will attempt to do that for next Friday at our usual 10/9 Central Pacific Standard Time. And be sure to submit your questions for next week. And we will also start another poll of what questions or what topics in general you want us to talk about starting tomorrow, or basically Mondays every week if you're listening to this after the live broadcast. So thank you very much, Justin and Gary, for being on tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, we will see you on episode 5 next Friday. So see ya.
See ya.